Welcome back to the Ultimate Enlightenment Series. In our last episode, we hit the firmament of the first heaven, commanding the matrix through the absolute authority of the spoken word. We initiated Ghost Protocol, teaching you to move in absolute shadow and lock your lips against the low-vibration chatter of the masses. We warned you to disappear, because the civilian world is infected with a mindless zombie virus, and every idle conversation you have with the uninitiated is an active spiritual leak, draining your life force and dragging your frequency right back down into the grave of survival mode. To understand this transition, look no further than the great cosmic sign revealed in Revelation chapter 12. A woman clothed with the sun, with the moon under her feet, and on her head a crown of 12 stars. She is standing entirely above the earth. Historically, a woman represents the bridge between generations. Think back to Eve, who converted Adam, a simple farmer, into a father whose two sons split the archetype of human survival. One a farmer, the other a hunter. But this celestial woman in Revelation is a bridge for something far greater. She brings forth a lineage meant to rule the world with a rod of iron, a cosmic frequency tied directly to the 144,000. Her position proves that this supreme teaching does not originate from the mud or the earthly matrix. It is a doctrine handed down directly from the stars, delivered from a vantage point that has completely conquered the solar and lunar dualities of our physical plane. Today, we shatter the ceiling of that acoustic dome entirely. We are leaving the atmospheric medium behind, stepping past the sun and the moon, those twin projections of fire and water that dictate the laws of physics on the ground, and punching directly into the freezing, silent, infinite expanse of the second heaven. This is the long-awaited gateway to the sixth spirit of God, the spirit of knowledge. Modern astrophysics loves to claim it understands the universe, but if you look closely at their data, mainstream science openly admits they do not actually know how stars are born. They tell fairy tales about collapsing dust clouds and random gravity, yet they cannot reproduce the spark of life. I will tell you exactly how a star is born. A star flashes into existence in the second heaven the exact moment a living human consciousness breaks through the firmament. It is a spiritual ignition point. This is the exact electromagnetic barrier that NASA has failed to penetrate for decades, launching their metallic, combustion-driven rockets only to hit a glass ceiling, unable to breach the upper firmament with physical machinery, because it can only be crossed via a frequency shift of the mind. Hollywood knows this secret all too well, which is why the elites of the entertainment industry explicitly refer to themselves as stars. When they perform on a stage, they demand a literal spotlight to shine directly over them from above, mimicking the precise optical metaphysics of a star pouring its illumination down onto the physical plane. They are desperate to replicate the raw authority of star vision, counterfeiting a divine cosmic status to hypnotize the mindless crowds below. But when you unlock the genuine spirit of knowledge, your living star is not bound to a singular physical location. Because it operates on a multidimensional geometric frequency, your star consciousness can manifest in multiple instances across the plane simultaneously. It has the ability to visit other people in their dreams, flash into their awareness, and operate independently of your physical vessel, gathering immense data, navigating different realms, and returning to you with a panoramic perspective that makes ordinary human sight look completely blind. To fully unlock this level of the second heaven, you must discard the civilian scientific lie that the night sky is merely an empty void filled with dead, burning balls of gas. The ancient texts, secret societies, and esoteric masters all held a singular, unshakable truth. The stars are living, rational, conscious intelligences. In the book of Job, when the foundations of the earth were fastened, the scripture declares that the morning stars sang together, and all the sons of God shouted for joy. Dead matter cannot sing, unconscious plasma cannot celebrate. The early Christian theologian Origen of Alexandria explicitly confirmed this in his foundational treatises, writing that the heavenly bodies are living beings endowed with reason, souls, and cosmic assignments in the firmament. In the apocalyptic traditions and the Book of Enoch, these celestial bodies are called the Watchers, sentinel intelligences whose positions, alignments, and geometric trajectories emit a constant, silent data stream that dictates the seasons, tides, and physics of the flat plane below. What happens when you grow your own star? Your point of perception completely detaches from the low-altitude limitations of the ordinary matrix. When you operate only within the lower chakras, your vision is horizontal. You can only see the objects, problems, and obstacles that are positioned directly in front of your physical eyes. You are blinded by the immediate environment. But when your consciousness anchors into your star in the second heaven, your point of view is raised into an orbital, bird's-eye perspective looking straight down at the flat plane. From this supreme height, the entire human simulation is laid bare as a flat, geometric map. This is how visionary innovators operate. They seem like magicians or prophets to the masses, but their secret is simple. They are looking at the matrix from the vantage point of a watcher. They can look at a broken economic market, a decaying cultural trend, or a complex technological flaw and instantly spot the invisible structural currents that everyone else missed. The crowd is down on the ground, caught in the chaotic weather of daily stress, political theater, and emotional reactivity. The star consciousness sits calmly above the weather, reading the constellations of human psychology and systemic architecture. You see the traps before they are sprung. You see the solution before the problem even manifests to the public. You are no longer a passive civilian subject to the rules of the simulation. You are an architect mapping out the terrain. Unlocking the spirit of knowledge means transitioning your entire life from a state of guesswork to a state of absolute design. When you have achieved this level of vision, your application of Ghost Protocol reaches its absolute zenith. You no longer step into the shadows merely to protect your vocal frequency. You disappear into the shadows because you are busy rewriting the code of your reality. Like the ancient secret societies that built civilizations based on hidden architectural and spiritual geometry, you begin to construct your businesses, your creations, and your life path using the fixed, unyielding laws of the cosmos. You stop participating in the trivial, blinding games of ordinary society. You become a silent observer, a celestial entity operating through a human vehicle on the ground, whose true eye is fixed firmly in the second heaven. Discard the civilian blindfold once and for all. Stop looking at life from the dirt. Elevate your perspective, ignite your living star, and claim the panoramic sight that belongs to your divine heritage. So how do you unlock the sixth spirit of God, the spirit of knowledge, and unlock your intuition? You need to learn to see what everyone else cannot see. You need to learn to visualize and see what everyone else fails to picture, because with your imagination you will eventually learn to bend reality itself. You need to see into the spirit realm and remember, a spirit is just something right in front of you that everyone else fails to see, but you are able to see with your vision, much like how everyone else sees a problem, but the innovator only sees the solution. Welcome to the world of riddles and allegories, because vision is mastered by the mastery of riddles, metaphors, and the instant spark of your visionary creativity.